Bouncier, little quicker around the floor. However, Alex tells me he's not likely for tomorrow. I don't know where that falls between our official terms of probable and questionable, but
sounds doubtful.
Not
like
likely.
No.
Not likely. We'll see what happens.
If last night Josh asked you about whether or not, when everyone's healthy, you would consider changes to starting leader, and you said you would consider. What goes into those decisions?
A couple things. I think just fit sometimes, like, you know, what guys fit with maybe the first group or the second group a little bit better. That's one thing. Or just some guys that have maybe risen their level of play, you know, that deserve more minutes, and you get them into a starter's rotation, and that's the easiest way to get them those more minutes. And the other thing is you guys remember from a year ago, I like to use some flexibility in the starting lineup throughout the course of the year, because I see in the playoffs that you may have to do that sometimes. You may have to switch your starting lineup, and it seems a strange time to do it for the first time all year, or to be so rigid all year long and then ask your team to all of a sudden be open-minded and flexible. So that would be another reason just to change it around a little bit.
Do you have to have conversations with guys in the morning or at the
I mean, usually we try to converse with them about anything coming their way that's maybe a little different, or things we'd like to see different. Yeah, we don't just try to show up and tell them. Usually there's some type of day before practice or a walkthrough or a shoot around or something where we're kind of getting matched up, and that's when we're making those decisions normally.
If you go that route, how tough a conversation is that with Fred?
It's a legit question.
I don't know that it would be Fred. That's why I'm hesitating to answer your question. Would you like to rephrase that?
No, that was a question.
Okay.
Kind of how.
Okay. I don't know that it'd be Fred. Okay. But yeah, they all want to start, right? We've been through this a million times, right? Like with Serge a year ago, with Jonas, we've been through it. It's I don't know. It's like this territory they've got, and they don't want to give it up. And like I said, everybody likes getting their name called, running out there in front of 20,000 people.
But you've got such an unselfish team that it almost feels like you have, I don't want to say well, you do have carte blanche, you're the head coach, but it seems like this would be, on the outside it would look like it would be a tough conversation, but knowing the people in your room, it seems like, it's pretty easy.
Well, I think that I try to, again, it's not like if we would make a change, it's not like that those things are etched in stone either. It's kind of a moving thing. So it's like it could be one night one way and one night the next, and the third night that week another way. And the guys we're talking about, there's probably 7 of them that could all end up probably starting 2 of the 3 or something. You know what I mean? So it's not like it's like banishment to the bench for the rest of the year or whatever. So I think, and you got to explain that. And I think, again, like, we would do those things again. It's more for an eye for later. It's not a short term like plugging it. It's a more of an eye so that we're more flexible later.
You were saying yesterday that you might find more of a role for Chris, or I guess you Chris.
Yep.
Find a role for him. What is his role? What do you envision? Or
Yeah, I guess I maybe should say his role's pretty clear, right? He's defending, he's blocking shots, he seems to always stick a 3 and maybe a putback, and I like the energy and what he's doing out there. I guess maybe an expanded role if I would probably, which just means more minutes, and again, there's not a lot of those there. It's not an easy thing to try to figure out. If you say you want to give somebody more minutes, it means you're taking some from somebody else, and I don't really know who that is at this point. Could I chip a couple away from Pascal? Maybe. I certainly don't think OG's in position to have his. I mean, he he's wanting more the way it is, right? Serge has been pretty low. Mark's been pretty low. I mean, there's not a lot of free minutes there. So I'll keep thinking about how I'm going to figure out how to expand his role.
What are the scenarios though that you feel you utilize him more? Like, where do you say this is a moment where Chris would be really helpful?
I just think he's impactful. I don't really see it as that narrow or a specific deal. Maybe there's some matchups that he could, but I don't want to like assume anything. Like, I don't want to say, hey, Chris can't guard Tristan Thompson. Well, he did last night, right? Or can't guard Drummond, or because you think the body, or whatever. You just never know. He's so unique, I think, with his quickness and length and timing and stuff that you got to maybe I don't know, let him roll. I think my biggest problem is he's a 4 now, right? There's not many minutes at the 5 with Serge and Mark playing the 5, and now I'm playing them together as well. So that's probably getting him to cover the perimeter, the pick and pop 4 guys, and still have his impact at the rim and shot block.
Are you concerned about losing versatility? Like you talked about being
the
same way all the time. Yeah.
A little bit.
I mean, and again, this is towards, you're saying this is all towards the end of the season, right? Like, it's like you can't go with all one thing one way and then at the end all of a sudden say, you got to change it. You want to change it.
Well, I mean, you got to do what you got to do, right? But I just think I don't know. I just from my past experiences, it felt like we were, always locked into a starting lineup, and then all of a sudden we were facing a team we had bad matchups to start the game, and then it was hard. It was like almost impossible to have those conversations that we're switching, right? Like devastating that time of the year. You start all 82, then all of a sudden here come the playoffs and you're not. So I don't know. I just think I'm trying to lessen the devastation factor. Lessen the devastation factor. Come on, Josh. You got any questions today? What's going on?
I used them up yesterday.
Okay.
I started all this trouble.
It's not trouble. It's not trouble at all. I think it's great. I mean, listen, I think we started the year, I would have said we had 8 guys that could end up starting, right? With Pat and OG and Serge and Norm and Fred. We didn't know which way it was going to go. It kind of, Freddie kind of settled in there, and then Kyle went down, and Fred's role, there's some, and now Fred's out, and Norm's continued to take his responsibilities and play great, and Pascal and OG played good. I mean, it's not a problem. It's good, and I think 2 months ago we didn't know Chris and Terrence and Rondé and Matt and all those guys what they were going to do, and I feel like we should play them. I think we all feel like we should play them, right? Everybody who's coming with me, yeah. We all feel like we should play them, and it's not. We can't play everybody. We can't start everybody, and we can't play everybody. But we'd rather have it that way than the other way. That's for sure. Good. Yep. Okay.